take you through a quick lower leg freshen up on this fork here. As I'm sure you know, regular maintenance is really important, not only for performance but also to help prevent wear and damage to the fork over time. As you can imagine, living in Scotland, we ride in the wet a lot, so our suspension takes quite a lot of punishment, so this is something we do quite regularly. So these are the tools I'm going to be using. We've got the standard 3/8 wrench and the torque wrench, 10mm and 15mm sockets, what I call dunters. I'm sure they've got a proper name, but for me they're dunters. Hammer, pick, 2mm hex key, and then we've got two syringes, one with the PTFE infused 5-weight oil, which I'm using because this fork has the Grip 2 damper, and then one with the 20-weight gold oil. You can find the correct oil volumes for your fork on ridefox.com. We've also got our foam rings, some grease, the lint-free shop towel, some isopropyl alcohol for cleaning, and the pokey stick. So the first thing that we need to do is just remove this cap, get the rebound adjusters off, and then the foot nuts. Next we screw the dunters onto the threads here at the bottom. There's one for the air side and one for the damper side, and these basically protect the threads and the bottom of the damper when we do this. And then we just swing the fork down and let the oil drip out and pop the lowers off. Now we just pop the old foam rings out. I find a pick is the best for this job. And then I like to spray a little bit of the isopropyl alcohol down inside, just to give them be clean. And then this is where our pokey stick comes in. Just push a little bit of the blue roll down inside each leg, and that just gets any old oil or dirty oil from in there. So while we have the fork apart, it's a really good opportunity to take a look at a couple of the new features for 2021. Firstly, we have the bleeders here. They basically allow you to equalise any pressure build-up that there might be within the lower leg. This is most common with big changes in altitude, so maybe shuttle days, chair lifts, flying, things like that. Secondly, we have the channels here. They have a couple of purposes. Firstly, they increase the volume of the lower leg, the air volume, so that when you're moving through the travel, you don't get that unintentional ramp up that you can sometimes find. And secondly, they basically allow the oil to pass up onto the foam ring and onto the bushes to help with lubrication. And so now we just have to fit the new foams in there and re-grease the wiper seals. Now we don't need too much grease, just enough to give a nice coating there. And now just to refit the lowers. With the 2021 fork, because of the new air spring, the air side stanchion is slightly longer, so you'll meet that first and then the damper side. So now for the fresh oil. What I need to do firstly is just move the lowers down a bit to make space there for the syringe. We've got our gold oil in the air side here, and we've got our PTFE in the damper side. As I'm pushing the lowers back on, because the damper shaft is longer than the air shaft, I'll meet that first. And then a wee pro tip, when you push the lowers completely on and connect with the air spring, a little bit of pressure builds up here in the damper side. So what we have to do is just push on the damper a little bit and release that pressure. And then we just refit the foot nuts. So we have the foot nut and the crush washer, and a wee trick I have is just to pop a tiny little bit of grease in the groove at the bottom of the foot nut, and that just holds the crush washer in place when you refit it so that it's nicely lined up. Just saves a little bit of time and faff. We have our torque wrench. Again, you can find the torque value for your particular fork on ridefox.com. And then back on with the rebound adjusters. And cover. So that was a lower leg freshen up on a 36. Whatever Fox fork you have, the process is the same, and you can find all the relevant volumes and values on ridefox.com. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments and we'll do our best to get them answered.